Most enemies in the game can't survive this, but those that can just get pissed off. The incredible Titan Hammer Bonk got a huge stealth nerf in the most recent update, but is it still actually any good? Well, let me tell you from the perspective of somebody who accidentally went into the Legend Nightfall solo with an unoptimized version of this setup and still managed to do it with minimal issues. It's still absolutely f***ing nuts. Forget your weapons because they're overrated. Supers, you don't need them. Teammates, leave them in the tower. If you want to just bonk everything into oblivion with total immortality, then let's give this broken Titan build the honour of being in a build in 3 minutes or less. The Titan throwing hammer is where it's at. Throwing it allows you to pick it up, and if you hit a target you instantly get a health boost too. Now the damage of this stacks with the Roaring Flames aspect, which is what saw the most recent nerf. It's now a 20% buff per stack of Roaring Flames, but it still hits like a truck anyway. You can easily get stacks from final blows with your melee or grenade ability. The Mighty Symphoseps exotic also got a slight adjustment but are still bonkers, as the Roaring Flames damage per stack is now a reduced 13%, but you still benefit from the huge Biotic Enhancement's exotic melee damage buff when surrounded. Most enemies will just keel over, but the absolute best way to use this base setup is by changing your controller keybinds and unbinding your uncharged melee, so that you can stand at close range to repeatedly throw the hammers. Sol Invictus really allows you to turn the heat up on your mini hammers, as you'll create sunspots in your wake which will rapidly recharge your abilities and grant you restoration. Not to mention these also scorch targets as well. Now each and every time that you use your Titan Hammer, you'll become radiant thanks to the Ember of Torches fragment, buffing your weapon damage by 25% if you ever need to use them. You can near on indefinitely extend both radiant and restoration effects with the Ember of Empyrean, and then utilise the scorching effect of your sunspots for more damage output with the Ember of Ashes to apply more stacks of Scorch, along with the Ember of Singeing to grant class ability energy when you scorch targets. The only real weapon that you need to run here is the Tractor Cannon. A quick boop will debuff targets by 30% thanks to the Repulsor Force perk, which will stack with your boosted melee damage to melt everything. If you're running endgame champion content, then you can't look any further than Withering Heat, as you can save a boop and just apply an instant 30% debuff on hitting a champion with a solar ability. Most at-level champions will melt near instantly regardless. Melee Wellmaker will create a ton of solar wells for you, and just chuck in the Well of Life for the healing boost it offers to work in conjunction with restoration. Maximum Resilience is the order of the day, with tier 100's 40% damage reduction being the most meta setup this season. Put on literally any other mod you wish, Well of Tenacity, Reaping Wellmaker, Font of Might, any anti-champion mod of choice, because to be honest, you don't really need them. You'll just be bonking all night long, but it won't be you doing the walk of shame when the sun rises, as you'll be covered in glorious loot from deep within Callus's dungeon. I'll leave the Destiny Item Manager build link down below for you to copy if you wish, and if you want to see why you should be using Sunshot this season while it's having its moment in the sun, then this next video will show you exactly why.